Hello, and welcome to the latest in our series of interviews for Hospitality and Events North. And I'm here today with Alex Hopkinson. How you doing, Alex?
Very good, thank you. Good morning, and thank you.
Good, no problem. Nice to speak to you. Now, Alex is the co-founder and director of Green Goblet. Be nice, Alex, if you just maybe give us a little bit of background about yourself and the company.
Absolutely, yeah. My wife and myself, we lived in France since 2002, and at 2012 we had to unfortunately make a new direction in our life. And there was a fellow family that lived across the street from us, English also, and we sort of got together one evening and looked what the abilities were in the UK, what could happen. And in France, I would suggest that they're a lot further ahead than they are of us in the UK here. You've only got to look at the plastic carrier bag. In 2006, that was banned in France. In 2015, England is sort of half-heartedly looking at it and perhaps taking it forward. But a lot of things were happening over there, and reusable cups was one of them. And we'd certainly been involved in a lot of festivals and sporting events over there, attending them. And that was something that we never saw happen in the UK. So we all came back in 2011, towards the end, and started up Green Goblet in 2012. And since then, haven't really sort of looked back. We offer the full solution. We offer everything from sales to rentals, service contracts. But it's not just the manufacturing of the cups. It is really the full package that we can offer, and it's tailor-made for individuals, for companies, for sporting events, for festivals, for arenas, for anyone and everyone, really. In 2019, Green Goblet was bought by Propras Group, who are based in France. Right. They already own a number of European cup companies. Eco Cup, Green Cup, Cup to Drink, Beer Up, and Clean Cup. They also have offices in Canada. So it's really the whole package now. We're all one. We talk, we communicate with each other, a vast amount of experience. And yeah, it's really all sort of coming together now.
Great, it's very interesting. Obviously, a lot of our readers are in the events industry, it's interesting to hear how the Eco Cup has obviously developed within that industry. If you tell us a little bit more about that.
So the event industry, I mean, particularly here in the UK, as I say, it was a very slow start. We started in 2012. We were knocking on a lot of doors, a lot of emails, a lot of telephone calls, a lot of communications with people. Rugby, I think, was one of the first target groups that took this and grasped it and made use of it. From their festival started moving on board, and it's now opened up that it's not just a pint cup or a half pint cup. It is a coffee cup, it is a wine cup, it is a champagne cup, and it's opened up the whole project.
Yeah, obviously sustainability is the buzzword at the moment, it's obviously we're making amazing strides with plastic and that kind of thing. So tell us a little bit about the current situation with regard to COVID-19 and how that's affected the business. Obviously, it's affected the events industry massively. Yeah. How's it affected yourselves, and how have you managed to adapt?
It's affected ourselves dramatically. Rolling back a few months, we were building up perhaps to our busiest season yet. We've got over 3.5 million generic cups ready for this season to go out into the festivals and sporting events. And then one Friday we stopped work as we were hearing things were gradually getting worse. And then on Monday, lockdown appeared. And since then, all our staff have been furloughed. And for the foreseeable future, I think really until we all know what's happening and things start opening up, and whether we can start all mixing in public places, it's going to be really hard. But behind that, we've been working very hard trying to work out, find solutions on how we can get these cups back into these places once everything opens.
Yeah. So what's changed? What have you been doing to, obviously, things are going to have to change going forward, and hopefully soon events will start again in some form. So what will change in terms of your product and obviously washing the cups, and that kind of thing?
Okay, well, the washing and the drying has really been at the forefront of our business, and the sanitation of the cups the number one priority. So we've always taken that very seriously, making sure that the end user has a clean, fresh cup, and there are no problems. We've been communicating very much with the rest of Europe, with the rest of our group, in Canada as well. And every country has slightly different requirements, whether it's a 2 meter distance rule or 1.5 meters and a meter.
Yeah.
But the fundamental thing comes back to it is the questions are being asked about the cleanliness of the cups.
Yes.
Machines we use are manufactured by Hobart, and they are manufactured in Germany, and they're specialised to something called a DIN number, which is a governing body saying that this machine will wash these cups to a standard, or these products to a standard, hygienically clean. So the cups originally were getting the best wash they can possibly get anyway.
Right.
But we have put in extra now measures to make sure that should any contamination happen or something, that is all pulled out of the system before the end user happens to get it now.
Right.
So we've slowed down the machines a little bit, not that we had to, but we have slowed them down so they get that extra deep wash. The cups are washed at 80 odd degrees, and really anything above 60 kills any bacteria and viruses anyway. We use detergents, and then the drying tunnels are at 110 degrees. So putting all the process in line, the cups come out sparkling clean, fresh, and hygienically clean. We also put in an extra precaution that once they've been washed, that they will go into storage for 72 hours.
Right.
So any contamination that may or whatever will die anyway before it gets to the end user, and it's still got to be transported to them. So there's another 24-hour period there, probably anyway.
Yeah, so really, we can all be reassured that that the hygiene is definitely in place, which is it's fantastic. Tell us a little bit about plastic and the environment. Obviously, I'm keen to kind of understand how the benefits are in terms, or how the benefits look in terms of why should we use plastic cups and so on.
Yeah. Okay, so traditionally our cups are made out of virgin plastic, polypropylene. They weigh obviously a little bit more than a single-use cup, but the bonus about it is typically in our cups we wash them through a professional, professional dishwasher, and they're washed over 500 times. I've got cups here that have been washed over 500 times, which means 500 uses. So whereas a single cup is made once, the energy might be slightly lower to make that. It's still the same carbon footprint, transferring that from A to B, the same as our reusable cup, but it's the reusability of the cup itself. And as long as the cup has been designed in the right way, it can be used time and time and time and time again. And I'm just saying 500 uses. We know it can do more, but that's what we've tested cups on.
Yeah, it's certainly a fantastic move forward for the environment. In a way, you kind of saw this coming. You were a little bit telepathic about how things were going to move forward. I mean, only last year, or was it the year before, supermarkets obviously changing the way they work with the bags. So what kind of obviously had a light bulb moment. How did that kind of come about?
Well, as I say, I think it really reverts back to being in France and just seeing it operating there,
right.
And then having to make that move back to the UK.
Yeah.
It just seemed to make so much sense that when coming back here and you went to Twickenham, for example, 250 or 1,000 single-use cups, for argument's sake, will be thrown on the floor. Whereas, you can remove that. Yes, there is some work that's involved in doing that, but
Okay.
that isn't all going to landfill anymore.
Yeah.
And I think moving forward now, we are looking at other various products, whether it's reusable plates or trays, or again in the events or festival industry, knives, forks, all that sort of thing. It's all possible.
Yeah.
I think it's just that one has to think about how it's going to work. It's all very well having this bright idea. It's putting a pen to paper and actually translating it and making sure it can work, and not just work for us, but work for you, the client, the end user, and it's safe and it ticks all the boxes all the way through.
Yeah. Now, obviously, you work with some really good brands. You offer a branding service as well, don't you? So, how does that work? Are there any kind of limitations to that, or can you literally just use any kind of branding? Tell us a little bit more about the printing process.
Okay. We offer three solutions with regards to printing. We offer a digital solution, we offer screen printing, and we offer IML. So very briefly, pretty much you can have whatever you like on the cup on all three of those printing solutions. Digital is normally for small runs. It's a full color solution, but you are restricted in respect that you wouldn't get a high glossy photograph finish on it, but you get a pretty good image on it. Ideal for low runs.
Yeah.
Screen printing, we used to do multi-colors, but we now restrict that to 1 or 2 maximum. And again, ideal on slightly higher numbers, cheaper than IML, but it's a single color. Again, you props wouldn't use a photograph, so solid block colors. And then you've got IML, which is like the Rolls-Royce photographic. Put whatever color, whatever design you like on it, whatever information you want to put on it, and off it goes. Along with that, we also produce everything ourselves in-house as well. So the labeling is all manufactured in-house. That's not outsourced to a company. The digital cups are all printed in-house. All the cups are manufactured in-house. So everything is kept under one roof as such. They're all very robust, all dishwasher proof. And again, designed to be used for many, many, many times.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. So, just looking a little bit, you're obviously good at looking to the future. So, in terms of the events industry and how things, how do you think things are going to pan out?
I think we'll get there. I think I've had a lot of conversations within the events, the sporting industry. Things have to open up sooner or later, but it's a question on how that's done. We are, as I say, working with them to make sure that the best practice of cups from the bar staff point of view, from our point of view, getting those cups to site, but not only that, how those cups come back as well.
Yeah.
There's most arenas and sporting events use a deposit, meaning that the cup can be returned for money.
Yeah.
In which case is how does that cup come back? Because I've now drunk out of that cup, I've put my lips to it, I've now got to hand it back to you. It's got saliva on, or I've touched it, I've breathed on it, I've sneezed on it. How's it safe for you? So it's putting all these things in line to make sure it all works. And we've come up with a number of solutions. Every bar works in a different way. Every stadium has different requirements. So it is finding a unique way, but there are ways to do it. And it's just making sure it's all done with the end user in safety wise.
Yeah, great stuff. So obviously people who want to know more, how do they find you? Where can they find you?
Okay, so they can simply find us online at www.green-goblet.com. They can call us, they can obviously Google us or Internet Explorer us or whatever. We're on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, everything. Or they can simply obviously click on your link or whatever and perhaps find us through you.
Absolutely. Well, I hope they do. It's been really interesting sort of listening to how you've adapted through the COVID-19 pandemic and the wonderful things that you're doing there at the company. And let's all hope things pan out positively for the industry, which I'm sure they will. But sooner rather than later. Alex, it's been good to catch up with you, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.